when I began my connection with this instrument, some in my world said, "Are you going to be speaking to the many?" I said, yes, of course, but I'm also speaking to the one, because the many are the one, and the one is the many. I'm glad that you have found your way to me. Perhaps we have spoken to you before. Perhaps not. But as I am looking through the eyes of this instrument, I know already that you are a seeker. You are looking for answers, guidance, truth, wisdom, enlightenment. This is what has brought you to this place. If you are watching and listening to me, then you are probably doing so through what your world calls a video. And I've no doubt that you are using the perception of seeing and hearing, two of your wonderful five senses. It may be that what I am saying to you, what I'm about to say to you, fits your own narrative, your own understanding, and your own concepts and beliefs. Or perhaps it challenges them. Only you can answer that question. What can be said without any doubt is that you are perceiving that which I'm offering to you. And you know, the perceptions, the five senses, and the feelings, and the thoughts, and the emotions, and the beliefs are what guide you in life. But how reliable are your perceptions? How real are they? Are they fluid or are they fixed? Are they anchored in stone? Or are they like a bird, free to go in whichever direction it chooses? You see, you are living in difficult times. That is a statement that could be applied at more or less any epoch, any century, any time in your Earth's evolution. And yet it is more critical in the times in which you now find yourself, because your very nature, your perceptions, your thinking, your mind, your soul are being threatened by those who have an agenda to manipulate, coerce, subjugate, and control the totality of the human race. There have been attempts to do this in the past. Some, indeed most, have failed because force has been used. And force, of course, is met with force. And the usual outcome is annihilation on an enormous scale. But this time, the force that is being used against you is more subtle. But it is also more far-reaching, more powerful in its outcomes. I have spoken to you before of artificial intelligence, and now you are facing a particular aspect of that, which is being offered to you as being invaluable of help in your day-to-day living. It is called digital ID. And through its application, which, by the way, requires technology and those forces that operate technology in order to be successful. That technology is aimed at monitoring the very minutiae of your life, your activity, your movement, your purchases, your sales, your habits, your speech, your thought, your beliefs, your aspirations, your hopes and wishes, your health, and indeed everything that you perceive yourself to be. As we have said before, the challenge to prevent this dystopian reality emerging has to be a change from the deepest level of human perception and understanding. Force will not prevent its implementation. There has to be a change in perception, a change in understanding. You may say, perception of what? Understanding of what or of whom? The understanding of your true nature and the understanding of perception as it really is, reality as it truly is, not as it is presented to you, not as it is believed to exist, but as it truly exists within consciousness. You must understand that that which is perceived by the mind, within the mind, through the mind, is open to manipulation. You are, as a race, easily coerced and manipulated in both subtle and obvious ways by a variety of mechanisms to which you are subjected every moment of your day. advances in technology resulting in a connection with the human interface by machine and biology, by artificial intelligence merging with human intelligence to create a hybrid human that bears little resemblance to its true nature. That is the plan. Now you may say, well, there is already a shift underway. Man is waking up. People are seeing what is happening. Their eyes are open. Their minds and their hearts are opening. And yet they are still relying upon the perceptions of the mind. And that is wonderful in one sense, but it is not enough. Think of some of the wonderful abilities that life in the human form has. For instance, I have worked through this instrument for many of your years, often speaking through him and demonstrating within spiritualism, sometimes in other areas, speaking to individuals and groups who seek knowledge and understanding. And many mediums develop their clairvoyant ability to enable them to operate in these arenas. And yet, what is clairvoyance most notably used for? It is used to prove life after death, to connect those in my world to those in your world, to help those who are grieving the loss of a loved one. That is a wonderful thing, have no doubt. But that is only one aspect of clairsentience, clairvoyance, or clairaudience. It is only one aspect. If you were to realize that these natural abilities that you all have, which, by the way, are not gifts bestowed by the Creator, they are yours by your divine nature. These abilities that extend beyond the range of the five senses that you are familiar with enable you to have insight, to perceive without first engaging the mind. Yes, it may filter, your perception may filter down through the mind, but what is seen and what is known and what is understood is before the mind, because your consciousness, your very being, utilizes mind. It is not mind, it works through mind, or rather mind arises within it. Therefore, there are perceptions that occur in between thinking, beyond the mind, in the space between thoughts. And here there is a clarity of perception, a clarity of vision. Why am I saying this? Because The mind is easily duped. Its Achilles heel is known by those who are very cunning in the way that they offer certain pieces of information in a certain way that appeals to the mind. The mind can be made to feel fear, apprehension, anxiety, doubt. And this is why very often problems are created, bringing about these states before solutions are offered, which were planned right from the start. When you feel vulnerable or isolated, then it is more easy for those perpetrators of their agenda to offer you solutions that you readily accept. But where you see beyond the mind, where the true clairvoyance, the greater, broader clairvoyance operates, there you can see much more deeply into any scenario. You can see its purpose, its directive, the perpetrators of it, the discord and disharmony and problems that they create, the solutions that they plan to offer, and the true solution, the true outcome. You may have heard the term seer. There are recordings throughout history of seers, those who had great wisdom and insight, who could predict outcomes, who could see the future, who could go beyond linear time and see the outcomes of that which had even yet to arise at this level you call physicality. You all have this ability, but you have to know how to develop it, how to use it, how to bring it to the fore. And this is why the true revolution, the true expansion, the true shift that you hear is already underway is driven by a change in perception. When the change in perception occurs, then there are no hiding places. Nothing can be hidden. I have said many times to audiences and to small groups, when they ask me, how do you see us on the earth? I say, I don't see your physical body unless I choose to. I see your energy. I see your frequency. I see, in effect, your soul. I see through you. You are transparent to me. That means I can see your strengths, your weaknesses, and every minute aspect of your being if I choose to focus in a particular way within you, within your being. That does not make me better or superior in any way, but it means that I have moved, I have shifted in my consciousness to a different perceptual level. Those who understand this, who know that man is waking up, is shifting its perceptions, are fearful of it, which is why they are quickening their agenda and seeking to bring in this digital identity, to create a financial collapse, to remove coinage, to remove cash, replace it with electronic payments, because they know that through their technology they can control so many aspects of human life. But you know this, and already many are seeing down the road, they are seeing what is coming. That gives you an advantage, gives you a strength, a resolve. It gives you, if you like to use human language, a game plan. You have to act from your higher self, from your heart, from your soul, from your innermost being. Man is approaching the crossroads. This is a crossroads that I outlined to this instrument over 50 years ago. I said that humanity would be challenged in a way that it had never been challenged before, but that light would prevail over darkness, truth would win through over ignorance, and love would be victorious over hatred. Yes, you will be tested. Yes, you will be challenged. But rise to the challenge, not in bitterness or hatred, not with vitriol, not with anger, but with love that is based upon the knowing of your true nature, beyond the perceptual senses that you are so familiar with, beyond the five senses, into the many senses, into the infinite senses, into the knowingness of your true being. We are with you because we are you. We are the many, and we are the one.